for Open Line here at 106.7 KROQ. So Sunday morning, Scott Mason, that's me. Habitat for Humanity is who my guests are this morning. I'd like to say hello to Jeffrey Moore. Hello. Which one of you is Jeffrey?
That's me. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Jeffrey. You are...
Jeff.
Okay, hi, Jeff. You are a board member for Habitat for Humanity and Vice President Relationship Manager for Business Banking at First California Bank.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
That's who I work for.
You are a busy person, apparently. Another busy person with lots and lots under his resume is Gerry Bross, who is also a Habitat for Humanity member on the board and co-owner of Hollywood Sierra Kitchens Incorporated.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Habitat for Humanity, the first thing people think about is Jimmy Carter.
That's right.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy, where's Jimmy? You didn't bring him in to come and hammer some nails for us at 6 a.m.?
Jimmy's
No,
not with us
unfortunately.
today.
Yeah. Wow, he really made that organization what it was, a shining example of what a president can do once they're out of office and what they can do, the good they can do to help their name and help the community. And Habitat for Humanity is one of those organizations that helps. This, from what I know about it, and obviously you guys are the experts, Habitat for Humanity I really like because it's not a handout. It's a help you help yourself. And if you are going to help yourself, if you're going to get in there and pound some of your own nails and put some sweat equity into your home, then you got neighbors who are going to help you, and they're going to help you get into that home.
That's exactly right. Yeah, our families are so actively involved in the process of really working toward their homes alongside their community members and community friends and business partners. It's really pretty remarkable seeing how actively they actually engage in their own home.
It's great. Someone tell me about we'll go to the process, but tell me about the history of Habitat for Humanity.
Well, Habitat for Humanity International is located in Georgia. I'm not sure how old the organization really is. Of course, Jimmy Carter is our most famous volunteer. Our particular affiliate, as we call it, of Habitat for Humanity in Los Angeles is approximately 21 years old, and we've built over 400 houses here in Los Angeles and participated in the build of a total of 700, including what we've contributed financially and with our own volunteers on a worldwide basis. So we're pretty excited about that. And all of our building are, as you mentioned, Scott, for hardworking, low-income people. And we get volunteers for labor, and we rely on our generous donations as to donors as well. So it's a pretty exciting process.
It's, sounds like it's right on my alley. It's the kind of thing, you put a little bit in, you get a lot out. And you learn, building a house, I mean, that's pretty fulfilling at the end of the day when you get keys and walk in and know that, hey, I turned the wrenches, I got the plumbing going in here, I put these wires together, I made the electricity work in the house, I helped put the toilet in, I helped put the sink in. I am one of these people that would rather do it myself than hand somebody a big check and say, see you in 2 weeks.
That's really something that you see the look on people's faces when we have a home dedication. It's just a phenomenal event where people, the community comes out and the family is standing there and they're looking at the house that they know they were actually involved in, and they see people around them that also they saw on the build site, and they build friendships. The family builds a friendship with the volunteers, and it's just remarkable. One of the things that I absolutely love is that in a lot of the build projects, the volunteers will sign their name on the drywall before on the joists or on some of the 2x4s around the place, just to give special greetings to say, hey, we want you to know that underneath all of the wallpaper, underneath the paint, is good messages from the volunteers and the families as they put their own work into it. They can, every time they use a particular part of the house, they know that they've been actively involved in that process.
You mentioned the sweat equity, and that is important to mention, is that we really are partnering with our families. These people are building their own homes. They have to be out there for about 500 hours for each project, and they're literally putting in their own toilet and cabinetry and painting, and they perceive that house from the very beginning as their house, and the pride of ownership that is in a Habitat home, I would submit to you, it exceeds that of a millionaire's home. It's really incredible stuff.
And what got you involved?
Just my heart for the passion, the hand up, not hand out portion. And we've heard stories of how having a home causes the family to eat better and more nutritionally because they can afford their home. A student, a young gal, studies better because she has a safe environment in which to study. So it just touches in so many ways, having a home, that really tugged on my heart, and it really is helping out in pulling people out of poverty. It's exciting to see.
And what about you?
It very similar to what Jeff is saying. I mean, I definitely was feeling that this is a great way to contribute in our community. I mean, in my own business, we do custom kitchens in very nice homes, and we see the pride of ownership that our clients have, but yet I know certainly that there are people that don't, that are living in such substandard conditions that they don't even have a hot plate to speak of, or they're living in such awful environments that why can't we be involved to get them out of substandard housing and into the joy of homeownership and the ability, as Jeff is saying, to raise your family and be able to study and progress and grow. And it really moves people on economically to a much better place. And I want to be part of that.
You get some assistance from the local government on these houses, because building a house, half of it can be the paperwork and roadblocks and building and safety and inspections, sign-offs.
There's definitely involvement in the local communities, whether it be in some of those type of elements, whether it's in making some of the land available that is sort of infill places that have been sitting vacant for a long time at good pricing. There's a number of things that those communities are involved in. Not to mention that some of our programs like neighborhood stabilization, there's funds that they've received from the feds that we then are involved in those processes. So it's definitely a community involvement that we're a part of.
Well, yeah, you got to start somewhere,
right?
You got to one house, then there's two, and then there's three. You got to start. We'll be driving around a neighborhood and see these houses that really look like they should be torn down.
Right.
Then you see one or two that look pretty new. Hey, those are kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because those were built recently, and maybe that's what they're doing now. And
right.
The community has to get together and maybe tear down some of those ones that should be torn down.
Well, the neighborhood stabilization program is one of those kinds of things where we take homes that have been foreclosed that the government says, let's stabilize a neighborhood. As you see foreclosures, that can be a kind of a blight on the entire community. These are homes that already exist, but are good homes that are in good communities, like Linwood or Southgate, Long Beach, that people can move into, and that we will work to renovate with them so that it makes the entire community more stabilized, and we have a good, happy family in that location or individual.
It's important, and location's everything too.
Right.
If you have a underprivileged family who's barely getting the ends together and has the opportunity to get into a wonderful house like this, you want to make sure that house is by transportation, because they're not going to have a driveway full of Mercedes-Benz. I'd say there's a lot of considerations that have to be taken. And Habitat for Humanity is a private home builder.
That's right.
Yes, we are. And in fact, we're now among the largest home builders in the United States, which is kind of surprising, but and to think that all of that is going to low-income persons and bettering the community.
What's the statistic, Jeff? Every 6 minutes of Habitat for Humanity home is being built somewhere in the world. So we're large internationally, let alone here in the United States.
Now, not every home needs to be rebuilt or built from the pad up. What about repair?
We do have a program that we call the Critical Home Repair Program, which is primarily sponsored by the generous donation of Home Depot. And this is an exciting program that we're especially targeting our veterans for, in engaging them in the community as volunteers, and also repairing their homes as they may be in need. So we're very excited about that. And as you mentioned, Scott, that's not a ground-up build. That could be major roofing or redoing of a kitchen or just about anything that would fall up.
I would sure like to see you guys partner with the high schools, because I remember when I went to high school, they had all the shop classes, and they had you learned this stuff. Right. This is exactly what you learn now. Not so much. You're lucky if the school has one class in construction or something, but you have to seize that. Take advantage of the young people, because they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to soak that knowledge in like a sponge. And these are the builders of tomorrow. Everybody can't be the surgeon and podiatrist and attorney, and we need the builders of tomorrow. We need the electricians. We need the plumbers. We need the geography experts.
That is that is definitely an opportunity, and perhaps a challenge to some of the schools out there to, get some of these kids to come out and volunteer on some of our projects. And certainly they can contact us at habitatla.org or give us a call in our offices to do that.
Right. I see lots of opportunity and partnership. And, I see the Boy Scouts.
Right.
Our students are often our largest volunteer group during the week. It's fairly easy to get working persons coming out on a Saturday or Sunday, but really filling the gap for us are our high school students and college students that can come out during the week and
hey, period 4, I get to go off campus and swing a hammer.
Right. Absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah.
Totally cool.
I mean, it works all the way around. Definitely need to see more of that. What's Habitat for Humanity's goal for 2012?
Well, as Scott mentioned, we've got this NSP program. We've finished approximately 45 foreclosures, and we're looking to finish about 80 more throughout the next year and a half. So that's our most.
Is that the focus now, the foreclosures, because there's so many out there?
Yes, it is, and also through the HUD program and the neighborhood stabilization funds that comes through the federal government. Yeah, that is our short-term focus.
I mean, we're in a unique time in real estate right now.
That's true, and right now that's where the money is coming from and is the focus, and is very important to the area of Los Angeles. There's not a whole lot of infill available, quite frankly, for new construction, but we certainly have a lot of need in the area of foreclosure and also the critical repair.
Definitely critical repair. I know with the current financial problems that we have, that you have 2 to 3 families living in one unit and
absolutely
tearing the hell out of it, and it's
right. I mean, the critical home repair program is also, I think, and part of our goals for the year is to really engage the veterans community in Habitat for Humanity of Los Angeles, because not only do they have need, it also is a great opportunity for retraining some of the veterans in the many skills that you have in home building and all the related trades around that. So we want to get them involved, and it's very much a very important part of our
and they need it. And listen, construction techniques and standards have changed in 20 years too.
That's right.
So make sure we understand that. It's really conceptually, lots of things are the same. Lots of things are not the same because of standards and other reasons which come up within a city. There are definitely new things that have to be looked at.
We should also mention, Scott, on that point, is that Habitat for Humanity in Greater Los Angeles is really making a concerted effort to build green, and we have a lot of generous donations for all kinds of building materials that are energy efficient, from irrigation systems to electrical and plumbing controls, water efficient toilets, etc. So, yes, all those new building techniques are something to see. I mean, they exceed probably what's in most of our own houses in typical cases.
Well, that's good, because that's our future. We got this one Earth that we have to live on. We have to share it with lots of other people. And a lot of the resources on this earth are non-renewable, or if they are renewable, it's going to take, many of our lifetimes for those resources to renew.
Yeah, we were proud to say that I think the last couple of our projects in Long Beach, as I recall, were LEED Silver certified, which is a technical point in green building and solar and sustainable is absolutely key as we build this, because quite frankly, it makes it a heck of a lot less expensive for those families to pay for their utilities,
Right.
and to live healthier long term.
Hey, are the homes that you build single-family homes?
There are a multitude, single-family homes and duplexes, always ownership in one building. For example, we just finished one in Burbank that was 8 units, but each a single-family unit in itself. So we've done a variety of it, the common denominator still being ownership.
That's a great thing. Now, if someone comes in and hands me a home, and well, that sounds great. All of a sudden, I'm being handed a big tax bill. All of a sudden, I'm being handed more than I know what to do with. How do you deal with the person being able to pay for what they got, ongoing in perpetuity? Because it's like, come on, we all watch these TV game shows. So you want a new car? Well, they don't mention that. You're picking up $4,000 in taxes too, or whatever.
Well, they're really
you're
not
responsible for. You're responsible for your property. So if you have Prop 13, you got 1% or whatever the size is. That's your bill now.
Right. They're really not winning a home per se. I mean, they are.
I understand that. I'm just trying to make a point that nothing is free in life.
Right. And I think that's one of the key parts of when we look at the families. They go through a selection process where we look at their ability to pay. That we look that they're employed, that they have appropriate credit history, things of that nature, and they know they've got a 30-year mortgage coming up with Habitat for Humanity at 0% interest, but they're going to have to make those payments on a regular basis. We look at what they're currently paying in rent versus what they'll be paying when they actually have these homes, and sometimes they actually are saving money because they've been, quite frankly, ripped off in the situation that they're in. Some of the rental situations.
Home ownership, if you haven't been there before, there's a lot. There's a lot you got to think about. You have to think about property tax. You have to think about insurance. There's you have to think about things like umbrella policies. If Jimmy comes over to play with Johnny and Jimmy trips on the stairs, someone's better cover that.
Right. That's part of the training that we put our families through, and that they go through is HUD training. They go through other training that we have at our own Habitat affiliate. So they know what they're getting themselves into. There may be homeowner association training and things of that nature to understand how you work within a homeowner association. So you're absolutely right, Scott, that if they go into this blind, it's not going to work. And we provide a lot of support. The other families provide a lot of support to each other so that they can make sure that they are successful going forward. So
when you don't have your hard hat on, you're putting in kitchens.
That's right.
Is that
designing them anyway.
Is that a good indicator of the economy?
It's a what the I'm sorry.
Your kitchen work.
Yeah.
Is that a good indicator of the economy?
Oh, I think it absolutely is. I think that people are really enjoying staying in their homes. They don't really feel they can move at this point, and so they're renovating their homes and making it happen. So it's we're seeing some definite improvement in the economy right now.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's gonna. If you're realistic out there, you can expect the economy to come back slowly and regularly. If you're not realistic, you're saying, "Well, what the hell?" The economy disappeared when I blinked overnight. I wanted to come back with a blink, and now it never happened.
Right.
Slow, steady, keep the course is where we need to be to turn this thing around. It's been. People over 25, 30 years old realize how tough this economy's been because they've lived in easier days. And these are not the good old days.
No. But I think this is a time that we're going to use to say I lived through and did just fine by sort of plotting the course and continuing on with it. And I think it's the only way you can be. You got to be positive about the future.
Yeah. You may have to learn some new job skills.
Sure.
It's these are crazy times though now. You try and take a class at a community college. Just try and register. Forget it. they're all full.
Right.
You can't get your foot in the door of education.
That's true.
No matter how hard you try, no matter what they say there's no education available, no education. Yeah, education's out there. It's expensive as hell, but it's not. It's full. It's full. So I mean, take a real look at it. It's hard to get an education, and the bigger schools, the UCLA's, the USC's, the tuition is out of control. I don't know how anybody can afford to pay for those schools. It's crazy. We really need to bring this education in line with the reality of day-to-day life, and we'll see what happens there. But I think it's key. I think, just on a personal note, I think we're actually finally kind of heading in the right direction. The train is on the right track. Now we just got to feed it some fuel and keep it going.
That's true.
We'll see what happens here. Obviously, you like what you're doing for Habitat for Humanity. You feel a passion toward it, or else you wouldn't be here at 6:23 on a Sunday morning. How'd you get started?
With Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah, Gerry, how'd you get started?
Well, I got started. We have a design district in where my business is located called the La Cienega Design Quarter, and we had a charity event, and we chose Habitat for Humanity of Greater LA as our charity recipient. And the more I heard the folks from Aaron Rank from Habitat, the CEO, and the staff, I was just so incredibly impressed and said, "This is something that I want to be involved in, not only for for myself, but also for my business. How can we engage our clients in Habitat? How can we get them to donate their old kitchen materials to the Habitat Restore, so that the money that goes into those restores can then go toward building projects for Habitat?" And it really became kind of this obsession for me to really see how we could do more as a business to engage with helping other people that have great homes.
Interesting. And Jeff, what about you?
So, well, actually, it was more than 20 years ago. Through involvement with my church, I actually volunteered on a build site that was in Hollywood, and I saw what it was doing. It was near the end of the project, and I met the family and saw how this was rewarding the family and making a difference. And ever since that time, I've had a passion. And then 2 or 3 years ago, I was invited on the board, which was very exciting for me.
And you become a better tool master since then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I bet your thumbs are all healed up.
Yeah.
Well, it sure is a unique organization. I really have a lot of respect for it, and you're getting a lot of things done. Certainly, you have a former president of the United States behind you there, and that says a lot in itself. For president of the United States to pick up a project and run with it. Do you take donations? If I'm pulling my gas appliance out and pulling my electric out and putting a gas in, do you take that, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you could interface more with the public.
Well, in cases like that, the Restore, which there's one located in Norwalk and the other in Gardena, will take used building materials. Let's say it's your old appliances, other things from your home. You can call Habitat LA, and they will send a truck out. They will take these materials once you've uninstalled them, and take them back to the store. They'll be resold, and those dollars will go toward our build projects or renovation projects. It's a very easy way for people to be involved. It keeps those kind of things out of landfills, and it really it builds homes for people.
That's a great thing. What is what's the ratio of money collected that goes out directly out to the client for Habitat? I know that's always a controversial question to ask charities about, but the money that you're bringing in, how much of it's actually going back on the client's side?
I'm going to guesstimate, Scott. It's probably in the area of 90%.
90, that's good.
Our organization is very unique in that we get a lot of money from in different ways. A lot of our gifting comes from gifts in kind from Home Depot.
Big bag of nails. There's only really one thing to do with that.
Yeah, big bag of nails, paint. It's all kinds of things. Framing. So we have a lot of gift in kind as well as pure donations. And as you mentioned, one of our partners is the city and state and federal governments. So those are all into the mix of our efficiency. and who our partners are.
Ever any union issues?
I don't believe we have
Nothing
union
more.
issues.
Good.
No.
I mean, this can get sticky in some places.
Yeah. So you mentioned education and informing our homeowners about owning their own home. We're excited about an upcoming homeownership fair that's going to be on February 4th. This is a fair that we are really looking for applications and to apply for ownership of a home and also into the critical repair. And we're specifically looking for the applications, but we're also having numerous workshops on some of the issues that you mentioned. What does it mean to take ownership of a home and be responsible for the repairs and the taxes and all of that? So we've got a number of our presenting partners that are giving these workshops to train our people how to own a home. That's coming up on February 4th, Saturday at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and we would specifically like to thank all of our partners in that, one of which is my employer, which is First California Bank, and other partners are Union Bank, Northern Trust, Caring Realty, of course, California State University at Dominguez Hills, providing us the location, and our 12 presenting sponsors that are putting on these workshops are organizations such as the U.S. Vets, the LA Urban League, the National Council of Larisa, Thrivent Financial, and Operation Hope. So Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit in and of itself, but also partners with other nonprofits and corporate America and government, relying on all sorts of financial sources to support this great community effort.
So one last shot, 1-800-520-1067, 1-800-520-1067. If you have any questions for our friends at Habitat for Humanity. They've laid it out really well. How about a website? You guys have a website we could give out?
It's www.habitatla.org.
Habitatla.org. What are people going to find there?
They'll hear about our programs, some of the things that we've been doing, some of the events that are actually coming up, and how they can actually get involved as a potential homeowner or as a volunteer or as a donor.
Sounds great. Wow, what a great organization. Habitat for Humanity. Jeff Moore, thank you so much for coming in. Gerry Bross, thank you so much. We got a couple board members who got up early this morning to talk about all the good things Habitat for Humanity does. Don't forget fundraiser coming up. Website address one more time.
www.habitatla.org.
Thank you so much. We shall return in a moment right here at 106.7 KROQ.
And we're rolling!
KROQ.
The world famous
KROQ.
Tell yourself, take only what you need. KROQ.